Hello there again. This is Orlena. I'm gonna film my second journal, even though I told you in my first one and my third one that I made the first two at the same exact time, the Edgar Allan Poe one and this one for my oldest daughter. And if you keep following any of the videos that I post, you'll learn that the one for Edgar Allan Poe is for my daughter Samantha, who is now 15. And then the one I made this one for, my oldest daughter, her name is Cindy. And then I have a middle daughter, and her name is Jenna. But she's special needs and doesn't read or write, so I haven't made her a junk journal. I make her all kinds of scrapbook pages, and maybe later on I'll go ahead and film some of those, maybe ones I've already made. I don't know how well I would do filming myself actually making a page, because I think I'm a little too methodical in my way of thinking, and all the goodies that I bring out to start the page with may not be any of the goodies that I actually end up using, so I'm not sure that that would work well for me. I may have to experiment once, but so that I don't have to keep saying my oldest, my youngest, my middle. My oldest is Cindy when I refer to her, and then there's Jenna, and then there's Sam. We call her Sam, but her name is Samantha. So anyway, I'm going to start with Cindy's. This is my second journal, but my third video. And it was a whole learning process when I was doing the Poe one and this one. And so I tried to think of a different type closure than on the Poe one, so I just used some, I think they call this organza ribbon. Anyway, I just did a tie at the back of the book because that's the only place I could figure out how to attach these butterfly eyelets. So I'm gonna untie it here, and I just wrap it around all the way around this way, and then just wrap this one around to the back like that, and then tie it. So these are pretty long, and I told her she could cut them if she wanted to, you know, go around here to the front and tie it, but I tend to like it to where you can tie it in the back, and you can actually flatten it a little bit more, make them kind of tight. But I liked that, tying it in the back. And like I said, I just put a couple of eyelets back here, and I'll show you. But again, all three of my journals that I've made so far is made out of the mailing envelope, folded in half. And I treat them to begin with gesso, inside and out. And then they tend to take any kind of glue or adhesives or any kind of wet media, I guess I should say. But anyway, I covered it with this real pretty picture that I got off Pinterest, and I've got these blobs on here because I opened a brand new bottle of Tattered Angels Glimmer Mist, excuse me, and it was a brand new bottle, but when I opened it, it popped a bunch of splatter on there, and I just went, you know, I thought I ruined it. I had just gotten started, so I thought, well, you know what, that kind of adds character, so I actually sloshed a little bit more on here. So I don't know what part of these splatters was accident and which ones were on purpose, but this on the side, I want to say I used that Viva Decor paste. I can list the colors if you want me to in the descriptions, or in the comments rather. You can ask, and I'll go look in my supply and tell you the colors. And hopefully on my journals after this one, from here on out, I'll do better after my first three, and listing what I used. But off the top of my head, it is a Viva Decor product. And then I did a single pamphlet stitch, and then this was also off the internet, and there again I kind of just rubbed it all on there, and of course it's all covered with Mod Podge to seal it all together. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I hope I'm in the center. I noticed on the Poe journal, the bottom, you couldn't see the bottom really well, so I've come up a little bit closer. Because I actually have a selfie stick above me with my cell phone stuck in it, and I have it up on the shelf above me, and that's the only way that I can figure out to do it right now, because I don't actually have a video camera anymore. So this is what I've got to work with, so I hope y'all bear with me, and I hope it turns out. But just like with Samantha, I made my daughter a little note from me, personal note, because it was given to her, made for her, and given to her as a Christmas present. And I just covered the inside with just a really nice, pretty paper, and I think it's either shoe polish. I want to say that this is walnut stain from Tim Holtz. This is an Anna Griffin die cut. I don't know what the design is, because my girlfriend and I go to each other's houses sometimes and scrapbook, and whatever she has that I don't have, like stencil wise or stamp wise, I'll do up a whole bunch and then bring them home and put them in my stash. So I think this was one of my friend Deneen. You'll probably hear me mention her name several times throughout my YouTubes here and there, but I think this belonged to her, and I think I snipped out this top piece here, this piece right in here. I think I snipped out, because actually I think it comes all the way down, but I used it as like a tuck spot. And again, like in my other ones, I do get the Project Life stuff when it's on clearance, because it makes for user-friendly journaling cards, and just stick them in there for her. I was trying to stick within the color scheme, roses and greens. And also too, my daughter's name is Cynthia Rose, and so I ended up, not on purpose, but it just kind of happened that way. It kind of has like a little bit of a tad of a rose theme throughout the book. I think this is a Tim Holtz stencil that I used here for her journaling. And I think I have had this paper in my stash for years, and I want to say, I could be completely wrong, but I think it might be a K & Company from years ago, but don't hold me to that. So anyway, I had some vellum, and I thought it kind of went with the look. I don't know if this is vintage or ephemera style, or I really don't know. It's all I know is it's pretty, and I liked it. And here I used a Close to My Heart stamp that my friend Deneen got for me, and it also has some splatters too, and I believe the stamp is from Close to My Heart. And again, I think this is walnut stain, I think, from Tim Holtz. And then this is just another, I think I was playing with it, trying to figure things out as far as color and on what kind of paper. And this looks like it actually has more on it, so I don't know if I found two different versions or what the deal is, because it has these and I didn't add that. That was already on there. But anyway, at any rate, I think it was very pretty. Just in this little tuck spot. And I love this. This was in a paper stack. Again, if you want me to find the name of the paper stack, I will. This here, on the other one, in one of my other journals, I had left this part of it open. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. But here, I just left just the side open and stuck an index card in here. And like I said in one of the other videos, that my first two journals, the Poe and this one, I coffee stained everything and dried it with my heat gun. And in the third journal that I made for my girlfriend whose son Josh had passed away, I had oven dried it, and it had a lot more of a crinkly sound to it. So and then I made this tag. I have this butterfly, I mean, that's not a butterfly, what is that? Peacock. It's amazing how much you forget and stumble, and I call them having a brain fart, but excuse me if that's a little blunt, but that's what I call them. But Close to My Heart, I do believe this is from Close to My Heart stamps, and I think I used Close to My Heart markers. I may have used Sharpie markers. I really don't remember what I did because I made this back in either October or November. And just did some stamps on, and I think I backed this with just some blue paper that I had, cardstock. And just inked around the edges, I think with some, that's actually Close to My Heart ink, I think, different colored inks. And this is a random envelope I had in my stash, and another Close to My Heart stamp with roses because I played off my daughter's name. And I forgot to mention that I think this is just some eyelash trim, and this is kind of like a velvety type yarn. And I like the color combinations. So I figure she can just, I inked the edges because it's so transparent. I thought it would be easier for her to see the edges. And then I just inked notebook paper and copy paper and whatever. And I think I just sprayed some Tattered Angels Glimmer Mist on this paper that I had because I just thought it was really pretty. And just more. And the doily like I used in, I think, the third journal. They're just Dollar Tree doilies, and I just sprayed them with Glimmer Mist until I got a color that I liked. I think I may have sprayed even some brown in here or some bronze of some color to try to bring out like a heritage feel to it. And I saw on Cheryl, Deli Girl 1961, on some of hers, since I've made this, because she uses these doilies too, that she actually either put two back to back or she put some kind of journaling line paper here so that you can actually utilize that for journaling as well. And I might attempt to do that on another journal. I'm not quite sure yet. And this paper here, I don't know if this is just, I don't know if this is a handmade paper. I tend to think it might be. But I didn't mention in either one of the other videos that I've made that I used to own a scrapbook store. It's got to be going on close to, I would really have to do the math, 8 to 10 years ago since I closed it. And it just broke my heart to have to close it. I really loved having it. I made a lot of friends. I really enjoyed having it. But like so many other mom and pop type scrapbook stores, I had to close the doors. And all the other surrounding ones have all closed their doors too. We do not have any personal mom and pop scrapbook stores except for one in my immediate area, and it's about an hour drive from me in Sheffield, Alabama, and a lady named Vicki Winchester owns it, and I think it's called Scrapbook. I'm not sure. I wouldn't swear to it, but anyway, some of this stuff is my stash from when I had my store. I really don't know anymore because it's been so many years ago now. But anyway, there's some of the, and I left it ripped on one of my other books. I put some washi tape there, and I'll tell my daughter that if it tends to grow, the rip grow, that I'll put some washi tape on there. But I kind of like the torn look a little bit, so I'm going to attempt to leave it like that. And she can put some pictures here. If she wants me to do something different, then I will. And you know, same with this side here because it's so dark, you know, but I think she might be able to use a white pen on this, maybe. I'm not sure. Just a general tag that I didn't even really decorate that much, and because I didn't want to do overkill. And these are two little tags that I printed off Pinterest, and they were white on the other side, so I just put two back to back, and I put some Winkostella pen to make it just, I don't know if that shows up in the video or not, but And I tried to zoom in just a tad more because I felt like the Poe book was too far away. So y'all can just let me know what you prefer, and I'll try my best to either zoom in or zoom out for you. And I also put some Wink of Stella on the roses on the cover as well. So, and I'll add some frou-frou to this if she wants to. And you love my technical terminology there. And I sprayed the ledger paper with Glimmer Mist. I have a whole bunch of it here, so I just grab whatever color looks like it'll match. And I thought this, you know, she's just so pretty. No, it doesn't look like it. I don't know if it's the same lady or not. But anyway, she's real pretty. And I had this paper, and I love the rose. There again, I'm trying to play on the rose thing, and she can write all on here if she wants to. And I just made some, trying to do a light cherry color. I mean, I know there's a tad of yellow in here, but excuse me, let me get a drink. Pardon me for that. Maybe that'll help. But anyway, I put some I keep saying butterflies. I must have Cheryl from Deli Girl 1961 on my brain. I like butterflies too. She loves butterflies. I love them too, but I also love owls and peacocks too. You know, that stamp I used back here, the peacock, I just love it. I absolutely love it. And my special needs daughter, Jenna, she loves owls. And I've had a couple of people make her vinyl t-shirts with owls on them and stuff for her because she just loves them so much. And owl was one of her first words with consonants in it that she could actually say. And we were so tickled about it, and it just kind of stuck in there and became her theme. So, but I also like butterflies, dragonflies, bees, peacocks, and owls, I guess, are what I like. And I think I stenciled that on there. I don't think that's a stamp. I don't remember, folks. I'm sorry. And just a cute little dragonfly there. I thought was pretty awesome. And I just thought that that was so pretty that I just left it alone. I couldn't bring myself to do anything with that. But, you know, upon my daughter's request, if Cindy wants something, then I'll put it on there for her. There again, some of the same, you know, I feel like I repeat myself, you know, just way too much, but y'all can just tell me if you get tired of me repeating myself or not, and I'll try my best not to. But this is an envelope that I used to cover the stitching for the pamphlet stitch, and I loved that paper so much I used it again, and I didn't really know what to do for the to cut a hole in there. I think I'd already attached it to the journal, so it would have been really hard to, you know, put a hole there. So I fussy cut out one of the roses and just glued it here, and then I use it for like a little tuck for the envelope flap. But and I just stuck some more Project Life cards in here for her to be able to write on. And she has no desire to scrapbook. I guess she's going to leave that up to Mom, but I have gotten her into a tad into Project Life. I bought her a whole kit and some extras for one of her birthdays a few years ago, and she has since added to her collection, and she's actually looking forward to doing some Project Life type stuff. So I think she'll appreciate that. So, and there's just some more of the paper here, and if she wants me to put any kind of a waterfall type thing for pictures, I'll do so later on. But I did these in such a hurry that I figured I could make any amendments to it later on down the road, being that they are just for my girls. And she can journal here because this is a light enough color, I think, and just more. And there she is again, bigger. I started having trouble with my printer, and I was actually going to print some different ones out. I have since went on Pinterest and have found a lot more different ladies for this type of a book. But I guess I was playing with the sizes and whatnot, so I had several of these printed out, and then I did something. I wasn't holding my mouth right or something, but for some reason I could not get my printer and my computer to recognize each other, even though both were telling me they were communicating. It has been fixed since then. Like I said, it was nothing major, but so I had to kind of repeat the same lady is what I'm trying to say, I guess. I'm babbling. But here we go. There's just more of the same here, and I made another pocket out of this vellum. And I've had this vellum for years and years and years, and I never really found anything to do with it, but I thought that it made a perfect pocket for this journal. So here again is some large index cards with that generic honeycomb stencil I have, and I thought these were just beautiful. So I misted Wink Stella on the flowers and the bow. I think this is very, very pretty. And I saw a perfume with the atomizer, I think is what you call it, on it. It was stamps. And I can't find them. I've seen some of my friends, my scrapbooking friends that have it. They bought them at Tuesday Morning. And I have looked and looked and looked as far and wide as some Tuesday mornings that I have access to, either myself or through friends, and cannot find them. So they looked very much like these bottles, but I think one of them had an atomizer, and I just wish that I had been able to get it as a stamp, and then I would be able to use it in my journals. But it just was so cute. I just printed these out, and she can journal on the back side. So I didn't do much to these little things at all. I just thought maybe a quick Bible verse she could jot down, or some funny quote she read on Facebook or online or Pinterest, or maybe one of the ones that are, you know, somebody in her life has said that she wants to remember, some funny little quip at work or something. And so there again with the rip, but that rip's pretty big, so I may end up repairing that one for her. And then I just took this, printed it out, folded it, and then just there again with the Wink Stella, it just went around the edges. And it was pretty, and I couldn't figure out what else to do with it, so I just folded it in half. And then this looks just like the other lady, but it is a different actual woman on there. And I didn't do anything special to those, but anyway, they're under the tuck spot there. And more. And then this was just some simple flower I had, and stuck some feathers and some eyelet trim and a fabric button onto this envelope. And then I fussy cut this tag out because I just thought that was pretty. And then I put some Wink Stella on the rose, her necklace, and the bow. But I thought the shape of that was really pretty. So anyway, I just stuck it under the back side of that envelope and made it a tuck. And so just more of the same. I think I have a stencil that has lines, and I just went with that paste and rubbed it in there, I think, or ink or something. And I know they're not real straight, but the junk journals are not supposed to be perfect anyway. And I put some more of those roses on there, and a chandelier. I actually think I have a couple of different chandelier stamps that I thought was real pretty. My daughter Jenna, her room is done in a Paris theme, and I did a chandelier in vinyl on her wall and put little rhinestones on it, and I colored them. They were clear, and like I said in my other videos, Scrapbooking Made Simple, Stacy Park had a technique in one of her tutorials where she showed using just the clear rhinestones and coloring it with Sharpie markers. So on my daughter's wall, on Jenna's wall, I just colored all, they were tear-shaped rhinestones, and I colored them all hot pink because her room is done in pink and black, and with a Paris theme to it. It's got a real strong Paris flavor to it. And I actually would love to take her ceiling fan down and buy a chandelier, a small, petite chandelier, and put in her room. I thought that would be really cool. And this is just a little piece of rolled ribbon I had in my stash from Lord knows how long I've had it. But it's just index cards, fold it in half with key stickers on it. I hope I'm in frame. I'm still learning. And this here, I bought some little magnets, but they don't seem to really stick all that well, or maybe the cardstock's just too thick, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, this is just rolled ribbon too, and it looks like roses to me. So, and that is a magnet there, but it doesn't stay very well. I mean, I guess it's good enough. But I just had this little maybe reflections from Michael's from years ago. I really don't remember, and I just put a little tuck spot for, you know, extra pictures here. So and then I made this waterfall, and like I stated in one, I cannot put something in a straight line to save my own life, so I just stagger them on purpose. So it accidentally on purpose. So I just figured this would give her a bunch of little journaling spots or picture spots. And I'll go through some of my washi tape and find some pretty flowers and pastel colors and put them in there for her. But I just did that for her to put in here. And then I made it for this pocket, but I think when I ran my gesso on the inside, I came up to about here, and I should have stopped about here, and it didn't make it deep enough. It stops like right there, so this doesn't fit, so I just lay it in there. And then this is, I just gave her the whole pad, and it's putting a crease in there, so I may take half the papers out of the pad. I really don't know. I'll ask Cindy what she wants me to do. She may just want the whole pad, and I figure she could just jot some stuff down and either leave it as a whole pad or pull them out and put them inside of here. You know, and see, in here you can tell, you know, that it is an envelope. And here again, on my first two, I cut the prongs off of this side but left the metal thing. But in my third journal, I figured out how to get that off, and then I just cut this with Creative Memories oval, and I stuck it in here and then cut it out. And so this is for that, and this didn't work out to go in the pouch like I had hoped. But like I said, I'm still learning, and that's just about it. I don't know, I didn't do any Wink Stella in here, and the back I've already showed you, and I think I did Wink Stella on these two big ones. And that's about it, guys. Like I said, I'm still learning, and I hope y'all just give me some grace until I get this down pat. And I guess, you know, we all stutter and stammer, so I hope you all have patience with me. And like I said, I'm just learning too. And I do have some scrapbook pages that I've done over the years, if anybody is interested in me just showing a couple of those. And I'm making a Harry Potter book, but that is going to be a long, drawn-out labor of love, because I made the album itself because I knew that it was going to be pretty chunky, and it's pretty big, and I've only made like maybe 5 pages, because when I scrapbook, I tend to be very, I like a lot of stuff on my pages, and very different from when I first started out. It's amazing how your taste changes over the years from when you first start scrapbooking to whatever you're currently working on. And my daughter Cindy actually has the very first scrapbook I ever made, and wow, the difference is just, it's huge. And I asked her if she wanted me to redo any of that book, you know, tear the pages apart, and she said no. She said, I'm the only one that has any of the pages that you first did, because my first scrapbook project was never scrapbooked a day in my life, and my very first project was for Cindy, and it was going to be from birth to graduation, and I was going to give it to her as a gift, and it included her whole life, and I was hard pressed for things to put in it, because back then, you know, you didn't have a whole lot of pictures. You had to pay for the little film things, and you know, I'm just telling on my age now. So anyway, I didn't mean to go on and on about that, but if anybody's interested in that, I can post a few of those if anybody has any curiosity. And then I think the next journal that I'm going to do is going to be for myself, actually, because I do watch a lot of YouTubes, and I want to write down other websites, usernames, you know, YouTube channel names. Maybe somebody's going to mention a certain product that I haven't used and would like to try, where they got it, how much it is, whatever they might tell in the description. And I have notebooks where I've jotted down 2 or 3 pages worth, and then I have like the back of an envelope from the mail I opened that day. And needless to say, it just all grows legs and walks off, and I never can find them when I want to look up the item or whatever. So I'm going to make me a journal. I love old barns and trains and windmills and that type of thing. So I think I'm going to make me a journal using stuff like that. And then I figure if I make me one of these, I might be more apt to keep all my scrapbooking notes and things to jot down together. And so when I get that done, I'll be sure to share that, and hopefully not prattle on as much as I do in this one. So thank y'all for watching. Bye.